How is it that Bitcoin can be limited to 21 million coins? If you wanted answers to this question, I'm Pasco, and in today's Bitcoin-Minded Memo, I'm here to answer that question for you. Bitcoin is the only money we've ever used that has a known and verifiably limited supply. It's perfectly scarce. For most of us, it's not easy to even grasp this concept. I mean, nothing else we've ever used works like this. The US dollar? Don't even get me started. That's basically monopoly money that gets printed with the push of a button. Its supply increases by 7 to 10% annually. That's the real inflation rate, by the way. So don't store your wealth in dollars. But even more respected commodities that worked well as money historically, like gold, they can't compete with Bitcoin in this category. Did you know that gold's supply actually increases by 1.5 to 2% per year on average? Only Bitcoin has a truly limited supply. More of everything else can be produced, especially if it goes up in value, like with gold, or if the government spends more than it steals, like with the US dollar. So how can this be? Well, here's how it works. Bitcoin, the money, follows the rules of the Bitcoin network. The Bitcoin network follows the rules written in the Bitcoin software, the protocol rules. There are tens of thousands of people around the world that have the software loaded and running on their computers at home. These are called nodes. Nodes police the network and enforce the rules all day, every day. One of the rules written into the code is the 21 million limit. The software, the code is open source, which means anybody can check the code and see for themselves that it is 21 million as a limit. Now follow me on this. This is where it gets a bit interesting because the Bitcoin software code is open source, which means anybody can copy all of the code and change whatever part of it that they want to and run their version of the software on their computer. When you hear this, you might say, well, Pasco, that means the rules can be changed. But no, stay with me here. Here's what happens. If you or I go in and change the important rules like the 21 million limit, the existing Bitcoin network, all the nodes running it around the world, won't even recognize the altered code as Bitcoin anymore. We won't even show up on the network. Our version effectively just created a new coin, a new protocol. And if we convince anybody else to run our software, a whole new network. The actual Bitcoin would continue running normally, maintaining the 21 million limit. Even if we tell everybody in the world about our new Bitcoin that has more than 21 million, the people around the world will have no reason to switch to our new coin or consider it to be the proper Bitcoin because doing so would mean they'd have a less valuable coin that is less scarce. You see how brilliant that is? No force is required. The existing Bitcoin code simply incentivizes participants to run and recognize the scarce version of Bitcoin because it is better for all of us. And its scarcity is one of the most valuable and important aspects of it. You might tell me that you've heard famous or smart people claim that Bitcoin's rules could be changed. For example, look at this clip of Jamie Dimon claiming that Satoshi is going to show up one day and increase the supply and rug us all. Watch.
Yeah, but gold's limited in supply.
So is Bitcoin.
And it's been used. So you think so, huh?
I do.
I think there's a good chance that when we get to that 20 million Bitcoins,
they go to 42?
No, that Satoshi's going to come on there, laugh hysterically, go quiet, all Bitcoin's going to be erased.
I think, man.
How the hell do you know it's going to stop at 21? I've never met one person who told me they know for a fact.
Don't trust guys like Mr. Diamond. He is incorrect and misleading. He's either one, he doesn't understand Bitcoin, or it's possible, but it's unlikely. Or two, he's deliberately trying to scare people away from Bitcoin because it threatens to disrupt his livelihood and position of extreme power. And Jamie's claim that Satoshi will come change the rules, well, now you know that that's not how Bitcoin works. There is no person or company or government that can unilaterally change the rules and force all nodes to change the software, the version of the software that they're running. If Satoshi came back, changed the code to allow more than 21 million coins, then ran that code on his computer, the same thing would happen. We could all ignore him and keep our nodes on the original Bitcoin software. If you want to learn more about how Bitcoin works and how to run your own node to protect yourself, check out the online courses at Bitcoin-Minded.com. That's Bitcoin-Minded.com. If you found this interesting, you'll love my other Bitcoin-Minded memos. please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this with a friend. Ask them if they got the memo.